Hey, welcome back to Smoky Ribs. It is one hot day in South Mississippi. We are in dog days. When I think of summer in Mississippi, a couple of things come to mind. Homemade ice cream, ice cold watermelon, and boiled peanuts. Boiled peanuts has been a staple down here in the South all of my life, and I've got that going on today, and I'm going to be using a brand new product from Cajun Rocket Pot. It's this peanut pot, one of a kind, only one that exists in the world. Wait till you see the design on this, and wait till you see what else you can do with this outside of peanuts. This is a 3-in-1 pot. So all you people that live on the East Coast and steam your seafood, you want to stay tuned to this. You're going to love this pot. All right, let's get busy.
If you want to cook backyard barbecue till you get your feel, you come to the right place. Roast your smoky ribs. Smoky ribs. Smoky
All right, now let me get you up to speed where I'm at so far. What I have here is 10 pounds of raw peanuts. These are raw peanuts, not to be confused with green peanuts. Green peanuts are fresh peanuts that have just come out of the ground, whereas raw peanuts have been dehydrated and have to be rehydrated. I've had these soaking in water for the past 24 hours, similar to what you would do with like beans, dry beans that you buy in your grocery store. All right, now these have grown in size from where I started. They actually shrunk from the dehydration process, and they're a bit bigger. All right, so what I really want to focus on is this pot, man. I'm telling you, there is no other pot like this on the planet. This is a one of a kind, and it's a dual pot, actually. What it was mainly created for is peanuts. And here's the beauty of it. What you want to do is go down into here, and you want to lock this in real low. And what this is going to do is going to prevent your peanuts from floating. All right, now this is a really cool device right here. This locks in the other side, as you can see right here, and it closes over this 2-inch hole. This is a sampling hole. While these peanuts are cooking, and once I believe they're about done, I'll be able to reach in here and grab a few and sample them. Leave it closed. All right, now the other purpose of this basket, and you can see it right here, this makes a fantastic steamer. You have your water under this device, you have your seafood on top, loads and loads of steam. This is going into an 80-quart pot, capable of producing just an enormous amount of steam because of the amount of water it will hold. That will be demonstrated on another video. Today it's strictly peanuts. All right, so let's move on. All right, I'm getting ready to light this banjo burner up. I'm going to be heating this 80-quart Cajun Rocket Pot with a 4-inch banjo burner instead of my double jet burner. The reason I'm using a 4-inch versus the double jet burner, anytime you get a low flame on a double jet burner, it's a carburizing flame which will turn the whole bottom of your pot black, unlike with the banjo burner, which is very similar to what you use on your gas stove inside when you're cooking. Same result. All right, let's go ahead and light it up. All right, as you can see, my water is just now starting to come up to a real mild boil, which is a perfect time to go ahead and add in these seasonings. Now I'm going to have in the description box the correct amount of seasoning per gallon. It took me 7 gallons of water to cover the peanuts. What I done is I took the basket that's got the lid that holds down the peanuts, I placed it in this pot earlier, and I kept pouring water in 1 gallon at a time until I got about a 2-inch coverage on top of them, 2.5 inches above the peanuts. All right, you want to give this a good stir. We're going to let this boil for around 10 minutes with the lid on, let all this dissolve real good. Now this is going to be a spicy peanut. That's what this has in it, is seafood boil, cayenne pepper. It's got salt. Peanuts require a lot of salt, even in addition to what's already in the seafood boil. Also having crushed red pepper flakes. And I'll have the complete recipe in the description box, like I said, per gallon. Then you have to figure out how many gallons and times that recipe, you know, for however many gallons you got going in. Now Todd over at Cajun Rocket Pot is going to be making these peanut pots in variable sizes. I think he told me from 50 quart all the way up to 120 quart. So if you're a big time peanut boiler, you definitely want to check into this. The 120 quart, man, you could produce a lot of peanuts, a lot of peanuts. And for the home cook, a 50 quart would do really good. All right, gonna put our lid on. Let this go roughly 10 minutes. All right, been going around another 10 minutes. Gonna go ahead and place this basket in here with the peanuts. Just want to submerge it. There we go. Completely submerged. All the peanuts are underwater. That is going to produce perfect peanuts. Nothing's going to float up to the top. And I'm here to tell you that the raw peanuts, they are the world's worst at floating. The very worst at floating. Green peanuts will float, but these raw peanuts, man, they'll float like wood, really bad. Okay, that cured that problem. We're going to just let these rip for however long it takes. I'll be back periodically to check them. I'm going to let them go probably a good 5 hours before I check anything. I've been going 5 hours exactly, and as you can see, I have lost roughly about 2 inches of water. So I'm saying 2 inches above this plate right here would be perfect for 5 hours on a medium boil. This is kind of a medium to low boil. I took the lid off so the boil has reduced somewhat. All right, this is our sampling hole. Let's go ahead and take a few peanuts out of here. I'm gonna go ahead and get 3 of them. I'm gonna close this back up. We're getting ready to do a taste test. All right, so here's the 3 peanuts I set off to the side. Let's get these out of here. All right, first I want to say that I prefer a green peanut. A green peanut, as I stated earlier, is a peanut that comes out of the ground. It's fresh, it's moist, it's ready to cook. As is, not dehydrated, not raw, and they are so good. They hold all this juice in them. Excellent. Now you can duplicate that to an extent with the raw peanuts, and that's what I'm doing here today, but they're never going to be as good as a green peanut. But this is what you're buying on the roadsides, off the interstates. I don't care if you're driving through Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana. The side road vendors that are selling these peanuts are buying raw peanuts in bulk because they're available year-round, keeps them in business year-round. They can sell them any month of the year, whereas green peanuts, you have to buy them while they're in season, and they're normally grabbed up really fast. You're lucky if you can even find them nowadays. I have a hard time, but I know where to get them in the fall months. So with that said, these aren't quite ready, so I'm going to go ahead and add in another gallon of water, and I'm not going to increase the seasoning. They're already pre-seasoned for the correct amount of water that I started with for the correct amount of peanuts. I'm adding the water. It's going to be fine. We're going to let them go roughly another hour at a hard boil or medium boil. Then we're going to let them soak for about 2 hours. Should be just about right by then. That soak is going to allow them to cool off and really suck up that juice into the shells. Right, since the last time you seen me, I told you I was going to let them boil another hour and let them soak for 2 hours. Well, I checked them again at the end of 1 hour. Still al dente. Raw peanuts take forever to cook. It is 6:30 p.m. I started this at 10:30 a.m. I'm talking about the actual boil. They went under boil at 10:30 a.m. So they've been going quite a while. And I just tried them again. I just took some test samples from that testing hole, and they're tender, they taste good, they just don't have the juice in there. And what's going to create the juice is by letting them soak. I think I'm going to go 1 more hour at a boil, and then I am going to let them soak for 2 hours. At that point, we should be just right. All right, let's see if we can get a few to float out of here. Yes, not. Let's just reach in there and grab one. Oh, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and take a few out of here. All right, I got 3 peanuts to sample. Let's close this back up. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is actually starting to get a little juice in it. In the shell, I meant. Oh, these are good. Very tender. Oh, yeah. We are there. Saltiness, perfect. What I'm going to do at this point is turn the burner off and let these soak for about 2.5 hours. The soaking is going to allow these peanuts to cool off, and they're really going to start taking in that juice inside the shell. And that's what boiled peanuts are synonymous for. That's where a lot of your flavor is at, is in the actual water that we're boiling these in. All right, I'm gonna come back one final time at the end of this and give you my overall opinion of this cook. I can tell you right now about the Cajun Rocket Pot Peanut Pot. Awesome. Can't wait to do the steamed shrimp next weekend. And while I'm on that subject, I would like to say that Cajun Rocket Pot has a brand new burner that they have been developing. It is a jet burner, all right? A lot of people that live on the coast and use the double jet burner know exactly what I'm talking about. This is not a double jet burner. This is a single jet burner, and this thing is amazing. It has a flame starting off about this big around and goes from there. All right, you'll see it next week right here on Smoky Ribs. I'll see you here in about 2 hours. Oh man, tons of juice coming out of this one. Oh yeah, that is spot on. That peanut got everything. It got the salt, it got the Cajun seasoning, it's got everything that I had in here. 2 hours of soaking after the 8-hour boil was perfect. And keep in mind, I did do an initial soak of 24 hours because these are raw peanuts. Now, I do have a video on my website or on my YouTube channel that dates way back to where I first began. I think it's like a 3-year-old video, 2.5-year-old video on how to do green peanuts. And I'll be doing another green peanut video in the near future with this pot. I hope you join me next week. I'm gonna take this same pot and we're gonna do something totally different with it, with the shrimp, steamed shrimp. I'm gonna show you a little Cajun twist on the end of that. I'm gonna introduce you to the brand new jet burner by Cajun Rocket Pot. Till next time, Smoky Ribs.